Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Infinity, and this is Magnetize Yourself, where we talk about life, love, spirituality, and of course, the law of attraction. In today's video, we are going to be doing a reading and energy update for our beautiful collective here on YouTube. So thank you so much for tuning in today. Happy Friday. I hope you're all having an amazing end to your week, and this is your end of week check-in. I also want to let you know that I did post 2 mini readings just within the past 24 hours, and I am really excited by the idea of getting back into posting these mini readings more regularly. I know that a lot of you really enjoy receiving some of those messages outside of the typical posting schedule, and I've definitely heard your requests in the comments, and I would love to create more content like that. So I'm really challenging myself to do a lot of extra readings through the end of the year so that we can really hit the ground running in 2026. So do let me know in the comments if there's anything that you would like to challenge yourself to do with the next month to month and a half. Well, I guess really we have about 2 months until the end of the year. So let me know if there's any kind of goal that you want to work towards or any action that you would like to take to further some kind of goal. So I'm going to start this reading by shuffling the traditional tarot cards, and I am really just going to start shuffling and see what wants to come up here. I don't have any kind of idea what is going to be coming through this reading, so I'm simply going to be channeling into multiple different threads of energy. Okay, so I am shuffling the cards now. So what can I channel for all of the beautiful souls tuned in to today's reading video? Okay, first of all, we have the Emperor in the upright position, and this seems to be sitting on the root chakra. So I'm getting this very strongly focused energy around you at this time, and I'm actually feeling guided to do something that I haven't done for a while and to do a little bit of a 7 chakra read. So I'm going to start with the root chakra, and we will work our way up to the crown chakra. So I'm picking up a lot of Aries energy here. I don't know if that's significant to someone, but I'm getting a very strong focus in the physical world. So I feel as though your conscious mind is very focused, and you have this unique ability right now to focus energy in a stronger way that you may be utilizing in some kind of sense. Can I get any more information? This also could represent a literal emperor, like a masculine energy, perhaps. It doesn't have to be, of course, because as I always say, we all have a balance of both the masculine and the feminine within each of us. But regardless of whether you consider yourself to be more so the masculine or the feminine, what I'm picking up here is that there is some kind of masculine energy that you are attracting into your life. This could be a person that is providing you with some kind of stability, structure, or support. This also could be something more tangible or physical, like an opportunity that provides some kind of stability. I'm seeing for some reason something red, like a red coat or a red shirt or something like that. I do feel that for many of you, there is this desire to be disciplined towards some kind of goal, like to have self-discipline with something in order to focus heavily in a certain way or to focus on a particular goal. I'm also hearing the words cut out distractions. So you may also be feeling guided to eliminate certain things that have been distracting you in some kind of sense. Now, I do feel with the 4 of Pentacles in the reverse position that you are being asked to surrender something, or to surrender in general when it comes to something that you may be feeling very focused about. Now, let me explain what I mean by this, because it's a very nuanced energy coming through. Because the sense that I'm getting is that while you are feeling very focused in a particular direction or desiring to put a lot of action towards something, you may be feeling an inner conflict at times, an inner conflict between surrendering and focusing. It's like there's this inner conflict where a part of you is trying to focus really heavily on something and you're feeling inspired in that direction. And yet it also feels like on some level, the universe is asking you to surrender. And the message that seems to be coming through around this is, do these things have to be mutually exclusive? And maybe that's something to journal on or to ask yourself, because I'm hearing to ask your inner self, because the answer might look different for everyone. But I do feel that there's almost this like quiet question coming up, like, is surrender and focus, are surrender and focus really mutually exclusive? Meaning, is it possible for you to remain focused on something, but also in this attitude of surrender? So this can look very different for different individuals, but I feel like this balancing act is part of what's going to help you manifest something so powerfully, learning to balance being very focused in a particular direction, maybe focusing that power of your mind, while also surrendering on some kind of a level as well. So just as an example, and this doesn't have to be the case for you, but to kind of demonstrate this tug of war, I guess, between focus and surrender, one way that this might play out is, for example, you may have a certain goal that you really want to manifest, something that you really want to create or attract. And maybe you're focusing on visualizing or affirming in that direction or really imagining that happening. But then when it comes to the action side of the equation, maybe you're not sure exactly what to do. And the universe is asking you to surrender when it comes to the action, to let things flow naturally, to let things unfold naturally, to surrender maybe even like the timing of things or the exact way in which those goals are going to play out. So it's like on the one hand, you're very focused on that particular goal, but you're also very surrendered as well. So I hope that that's coming across. It's a very nuanced message coming through here. I'm just feeling this tension in the root chakra between control and surrender. And I hope that that helped to provide some kind of guidance for someone listening. By the way, if you are listening and anything does connect with you at any point, of course, you can always leave me a comment. Let me know what did resonate with you. It's so interesting because I'm feeling like this isn't the only chakra center where there's some strange kind of tension coming up here. Because as I'm starting to kind of lean into that sacral, we're not fully there yet. That's the second chakra center, of course. But as we're beginning to lean into that sacral energy, I'm feeling another point of tension. Maybe you've been feeling some tension in your physical body or in your emotions, or I'm hearing something is like potentially out of whack. Maybe you've been under the weather or just feeling like off balance in some kind of way. And there could be something about like an energetic tension in your system. Now, of course, as I always say, I am not a medical professional, so I always recommend pursuing any medical concerns with a doctor or a professional. But I just do feel there's like some kind of, I'm hearing it's the imbalance that comes with growth. You may at times be feeling this like tension coming up for you, but what that actually is indicative of is that you are growing and you are expanding at a very rapid rate. And I'm hearing you aren't creating new points of tension. The points of tension that have pre-existed are coming to the surface to be released, to allow you to actually hold more of what you desire energetically in your field, and therefore to be capable of sustaining more of the manifestation of your desires in your physical reality. Because whenever we manifest something physically, in order to sustain that manifestation, we have to create and hold the space for it energetically as well. And the sense that I'm getting is like there's some kind of space that's being created, like carved out within you. It's like pushing this space within you that is bringing up these points of tension that were preventing you from creating that space internally, emotionally, energetically. And it feels uncomfortable at times. I feel like there are moments where like these maybe emotions surface for you out of nowhere after you set a goal or after you meet someone that you really like romantically or you make a new friend. Suddenly these points of tension come to the surface. And once again, the message here is this isn't a sign that you're on the right track or on the wrong track. It's actually a sign that you are growing so rapidly that it's as though your soul is saying, okay, you're requesting this next level of growth. So let's surface these points of tension so that they can be released, so that you can hold space for whatever this is that you are calling in. Not just calling in, but I feel like it's actually here. It's actually now coming into your life and you're seeing it in the early stages. That's kind of what I'm picking up on here. I keep picking up on this collective that is beginning to attract or manifest things that are unlike anything they've attracted or manifested before. Very new things or things that seem to be on a whole different level than what you've attracted in the past. And that is because of this radical shift in your energy and your frequency that you accomplished within yourself. There's something about taking the credit for that as well. Like, you did this. You are the one who shifted the energy. You are the one who got here vibrationally and is now attracting in from this completely new place. Now, I feel the sacral just like pulling me up into it. So I feel like we have to start channeling there. I will let you know if anything else wants to come out on the root chakra. I'm actually feeling guided to leave the cards here, the 2 cards we pulled on the root chakra stone. You guys know I like to have a chakra stone for each of the chakra systems or centers. So I'm going to leave those cards out. And for some reason, I feel the need to mention the stone obsidian. So maybe that is relevant for someone. It also can stand for like, I'm hearing something about like protection, energetic protection, absorbing negative energy. I'm hearing higher levels of growth require new levels of protection. So maybe you are also being asked to make sure that as you are expanding so rapidly, you are growing as deep as you are tall, if that makes sense, that you're really rooting and grounding yourself and caring for yourself. I'm also hearing self-respect is the best form of protection. So there's something about making sure that you are prioritizing, respecting yourself above all else, your time, your energy, your space, your body, and that acts as its own form of energetic protection in a sense. Okay, so let's go ahead and move up to the sacral chakra. I heard the sentence, there's something that you are meant to be with now. And what I felt that meant as it came through is like, there's something that you're meant to just be present with. I'm getting so many chills as I'm tapping into this. There's something that you're meant to just be present with. And for some reason, this kind of reminds me of when I started this reading video. So I will tell you guys, I'm recording this late at night. And right as I was about to hit record, I felt like some tension coming up in my neck and my back. So maybe that's speaking to an energy in the collective. But I also felt this like tension around not knowing what I was going to say or what was going to come through this reading. And there were like these self-doubts surfacing. And sometimes when I get those kinds of energies before the reading, I feel there's a message in it for the collective that I'm channeling into, which is why I'm sharing it here. It's not typical for me to feel this way prior to a reading because I've been doing this here on the channel for so many years. I feel like it's become very natural in a way. But for some reason, those feelings were coming up right before the reading. It's almost like my mind wanted to come up with excuses not to record this right now. And the reason I'm saying that is I feel that could be what someone's mind is doing that is listening. Like there could be a part of you trying to pull back into isolation, but an isolation that your ego mind is equating with safety, with the Hermit card. I'm hearing trying to pull back into what feels safe and familiar, even though it's not lighting you up. It's not really livening. Like that feeling of passion within you. It's not enlightening you or inspiring you or making you feel alive, but it feels safe. But I'm getting that there's something that is showing up in your present moment that is asking you to be with it, just to be present with it, like present with the experience of it. If it's a person, just to like show up and get to know them because you feel drawn to them and enjoy their company and just see how things unfold, whether this is a new friend, an opportunity, someone romantically. The sense that I get is this pull that you're feeling towards someone or something that is undeniable, and yet there is this self-doubt creeping in, or this tendency to overthink it or to wonder how it's going to play out into the future, and maybe even to allow some self-doubt to creep in, like, am I capable of having this? Am I capable of sustaining this? What if this ultimately falls apart or doesn't work out the way that I want it to? I just get this message of like, be here now, be here with this unfolding experience that feels so good to you in the now. I'm hearing you don't have to understand it completely right now to allow it to unfold. And that could be anything. It could be a project, a passion, yes, a relationship, anything in your life. But I do get that there's this temptation to pull back into the isolation that feels safe. And I'm getting that a theme of this reading, because once again, in the second chakra center, we again have a point of tension. In the root chakra, it was control versus surrender, or focus versus surrender. But now we've got the hermit, like the isolation that feels safe, versus the blossoming up, the opening up in the moment, the allowing something to unfold. So I'm getting something about resolving the tension, but how, again, just like with the root chakra, we said focus and surrender are not necessarily mutually exclusive. I feel here that solitude and staying self-regulated and grounded in yourself, and maybe even pacing things and allowing yourself to kind of pull back a bit, doing all of that and continuing to blossom or open up are not mutually exclusive either. In fact, they're very mutually compatible, because I'm getting that whatever it is that you're being asked to be with now also does require of you those skills that you did develop through your hermit mode, those abilities you've developed to be able to pull back into your solitude, which isn't really an isolation when it's balanced with the blossoming. It's just you continuously checking in with yourself, grounding yourself, making sure that you are maintaining your own stability in the unfolding of whatever new is coming into your life or whatever you're feeling drawn towards. That's what I'm getting here as well, that there's some balance between the hermiting, the isolation, the solitude, and the continuous blossoming. And that actually the blossoming happens in a more balanced and fruitful and harmonious way when it's actually paired with and coupled with the periods of time where you are allowing yourself that solitude. I'm hearing that solace. Maybe many of you find a lot of peace in that solitude. I'm just getting something about not allowing yourself to take it to the extreme either way, because in this phase, you are meant to be allowing yourself to blossom, to push out into the world, to share yourself with the world in ways that feel good to you personally, or to connect with others or new opportunities or whatever this is for you. But checking in with yourself is really important. And I do get that for some of you, there may have been situations that came up recently where you got so excited about a new opportunity to blossom or to connect or to somehow push out into the world that you may have neglected to fully keep checking back in with yourself, which of course is not a negative thing. It happens to everyone. And I feel like I'm not speaking to everyone here either. But I feel like if this was for you, you may have noticed that this is when your energy got very out of balance, or you may have started to get very tense or even got sick or something like that, which again, I'm not a doctor. I always recommend taking up medical things with a doctor, but there could have just been some imbalance within you energetically because you got really overexcited for a particular person or idea or something and began to get ungrounded when it came to your sense of self. And I feel like that's part of why this message is coming up here, to remind you that not only is it okay to continue checking in with yourself, pulling back into that solitude as needed to recharge your energy as you push out into these new opportunities, but it's actually very beneficial to that kind of growth. It allows that growth to continue steadily and harmoniously. And the right people, things, and opportunities will respect your solitude. They will respect your pacing as well. You pacing things in a way that allows you that time and space to check in with yourself. I'm also just getting a little bit of a side message here about a vetting process. Like, maybe there's something or someone that you are pacing things with, or that you're vetting very carefully. And I feel like you are being reminded that you are really honoring yourself by vetting something thoroughly before you fully allow it into your life in a way where it is connecting with you and affecting you on a daily basis. I'm hearing you have a very strong energetic filter. And what the guides seem to mean by that is that you're very careful about what you allow fully into like your inner sanctuary, your inner circle, the people and things closest to you, because you're aware of how powerful and delicate your energy is, how desirable it is as well when someone gets close to it, how people can easily become addicted to it. But you're also aware that you interact very strongly in an energetic way with everyone and everything that is closely tied to you in that inner circle. So what this means is that if there is someone or something very close to you that is having a detrimental effect on you, you feel it to a stronger degree than most people. But the opposite is true too. When you have people around you that are very supportive, you can feel that in a very strong way as well. But I'm just getting there may be someone or something new in your life, an opportunity, a person, a friendship, whatever, that you feel really good about or really excited about. But your guides are also asking you to continue honoring yourself by vetting it very thoroughly and paying attention to how it shows up for you, how it makes you feel, not gaslighting yourself out of any of those feelings, and really checking in with how it is connecting with you emotionally on a deeper level over the course of time, because your emotions will give you so much feedback. And we are, of course, trained by society to gaslight ourselves out of our emotions, to try and force ourselves to be around people or things that are giving us this emotional reaction that is trying to indicate to us that there's some kind of energy imbalance in that exchange. But I feel like you are returning that power back to yourself, and you're asking to continue, you are being asked to continue doing that. So I don't know who or what it is that you are quote unquote like vetting, but I'm just getting that you're right to do that, and that this is an act of self-honoring, and that actually this is a practice that will really serve you in all aspects and areas of your life whenever you encounter anyone or anything new. So wow, I was not expecting that much to come up on the sacral chakra. Let's move up to the solar plexus. So for some reason, I'm seeing a crown. I heard king energy. I mean, maybe internally, that's your inner masculine stepping into this confidence, this so-called king energy internally. This also could be a king externally that has their eye on you, someone who is of like high status, or who really, I'm hearing, has their life together, or just is very solid and stable and confident within themselves, but also very interested in you. I'm hearing something about you piquing someone's interest. That seems to come through here. Rest, relaxation, peace, sanctuary, and also the Four of Cups reversed. Okay, I'm hearing you've evolved out of that version of yourself. So I don't know who this is for, but I'm picking up on someone who has still been tying at times a little bit of their sense of confidence or identity to the past, or to a past version of them that they've already outgrown. And it's almost like there is this fear coming up here of fully closing some kind of door, or letting something be in the past, or letting something go that you know is negatively affecting you, because Maybe it's something that you used to derive your sense of identity from or a sense of confidence from. But that sense of confidence, that sense of identity has radically shifted. You have completely changed since you used to rely upon that person or that thing or that dynamic. And I feel like whatever that is that you've maybe held on to, it's become really heavy. And again, it's like tied to this past version of yourself, but you've already grown beyond that. I actually do see you in a very confident energy here. I know that this is a bit of a strange energy coming up, so I am going to be pulling some other cards to clarify. There's something about creating a sanctuary for yourself, but I'm hearing a sanctuary doesn't have to be a physical place. It can be even like a routine, like a daily routine, certain things you do no matter like where you are that stabilize you or give you a sense of confidence that carries you throughout the day. This could be a sanctuary in terms of like the connections or people in your life, the information that you feed yourself, or I mean, it could be your physical environment as well. But I feel like for many of you, this is more so your internal environment, like your emotional or mental environment. And that being some kind of sanctuary of peace that then supports you throughout the day. That seems to be coming up here. So for some reason, I'm hearing some of you find sanctuary through contemplation. So there may be someone who finds that taking time to deeply think or reflect alone or to process things is very essential to creating this solid sense of stability that then holds you during the day, that like allows you to be anchored and rooted no matter where you go or what you do during the day. So, of course, that will be very unique to you. I'm hearing something about learning to allow yourself to be loved in this new, updated, more confident version of yourself. Because I do feel like you are attracting in love and support from this new stance, from this new identity. But again, there is like this looking back to the past and remembering who you used to be, and maybe a fear of letting go of certain aspects of that. But it's almost like, again, like you've already outgrown that version of you, and this new version of you that is more confident, that is more stable, is attracting in a totally new form of connection in your life. I feel like you no longer need whatever you used to rely upon, whatever maybe you've been holding on to out of fear, because you've already learned how to meet those needs from within yourself, how to source them internally. And yet there's like some outdated fear programming that may be coming up here a bit. I don't know who that's for. Again, I know that won't be for everyone, and I'm not sure exactly how that's going to relate. Yeah, door to personal healing and happiness. I would say so far of these 3 chakra centers, I feel like the solar plexus is where your energy has altered the most drastically recently, your sense of like identity, how you carry yourself, how you show up in the world. I'm hearing this has even affected your literal physical appearance. Like there is this newfound glow about you that people are literally perceiving physically because of how much you've shifted in the solar plexus. Yeah, because I just keep getting like you've learned to meet all of your needs internally that you used to outsource towards others. I'm hearing people pleasing. So that may be a pattern that you've healed. You may have used to consider yourself a people pleaser, and now you're learning how to care for yourself, how to live without the mask as well. I'm getting the words organic and authentic. And I feel like that is actually the biggest reason that you are glowing right now. It's because your energy is organic and authentic. Can I get any more information? Yeah, and there is someone who keeps coming up here. Could be a masculine energy, especially if you are a divine feminine listening. But this is a person who absolutely is connecting with this confident, expanded version of you. They deeply admire you. And I'm hearing they could only see you with the mask off. So I feel like you've learned to remove all pretenses and all programming and to live fully as your most authentic version of self. And then there is this masculine energy coming up here that is so deeply attracted to that most authentic version of you. Someone with the garden and the gate reverse that you feel really safe to let down your guard with, to let down your walls with. But I am getting that this may be one of those individuals that you're putting through some kind of a vetting process, whether it's a friend or a romantic person or an opportunity. I do feel for many of you, this may be romantic. Again, doesn't have to be, but I do feel that once again, you're honoring yourself and respecting yourself by vetting anyone who comes into your life very heavily, meaning making sure you are pacing things according to your intuition, checking in with yourself, your inner self frequently, checking on how you feel you are connecting with this person on an emotional and energetic level. But I do get this like very strong potential for a beautiful opportunity or connection with someone who actually seems to, I'm hearing, amplify your light instead of hiding from it. And for some reason, I'm getting some tears like almost coming to my eyes. Like there's an emotional charge around all of this. Maybe the entrance of this person or opportunity into your life brings up some emotions because this is someone who actually like amplifies your light with their presence when you are so accustomed to people tending to hide from your light, to fear it on some level, to feel a kind of intimidation around it. And I feel like this is a situation where you don't feel the need to dim yourself. And that's why you feel safe to be so vulnerable. I will say that part of why it's so important to still pace this according to your intuition and to be vetting this is because with the root chakra reverse, this may feel a little overwhelming. I am hearing something about how experiences of safety will surface all of the moments and memories where you felt unsafe. And I have to say that one thing I've been picking up about this shift that we've been going through collectively is that you are going to be attracting in experiences that feel so comforting and so safe and so genuine to your nervous system that ironically, it's actually going to be at times a little bit triggering. It's the triggering of healing, but you may actually notice that because you feel so held and so supported and so seen and so safe and comfortable with your life or your body or yourself or your friendships or relationships or whatever, those moments may actually bring up memories to be processed out, traumas, like moments where you felt unsupported, unsafe, uncared for, unseen. It's like when you expand yourself to be able to hold these safe, beautiful experiences, what also comes to the surface in that expansion is any stuck points of energy that may have been kind of hiding there. And so be prepared for that as well. That may take time to process. I'm hearing you may actually notice that after some really beautiful moments in your life or in certain connections or whatever, you may actually experience like a lull after that where you have to kind of like integrate that experience, where you actually feel a little bit low or you feel some grief or some memories coming up for you, even though the experience or the person or the thing that happened felt so good at the time. This is actually a sign that your nervous system is healing itself through safety. It feels so safe or so comfortable or so good in those new experiences that it's asking you to process out the times where you may have felt the opposite of that. So I just saw the number 333 on the recording timer, which feels really significant for someone, but also feels like a great pausing point for this reading. So I will be picking up in the extended. If this did connect for you, we will be channeling into the heart chakra, throat chakra, third eye chakra, and crown chakra in the extended version of this reading. But I do have to say that right here at the bottom of the deck, we have the victory card. And the action card reversed. Know that you are going to experience a victory here, that you are actually in the middle of some massive breakthroughs, and that it doesn't have to be hard, that this is actually meant to flow. This is meant to be effortless with the action card reversed. I'm hearing you're going to see how good life can get, and the universe is going to show you how good life can get, which was the title of one of my mini readings. So that may connect for one of you as well. But I am going to go ahead and close things here. Thank you so much for listening. If this did connect, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Of course, you can also subscribe, join our beautiful community here. And you can follow me on Instagram at Magnetize Yourself. And you can now listen to my channeled music under my artist name, Songs by 𝘕𝘼nity, which is on Spotify. And all of those links are below, as well as, of course, the link to the extended reading. If you do join the memberships, either on YouTube memberships or Patreon, you get access to this extended reading, but also 3 additional bonus readings every single week just for members. So yeah, I hope that you have a beautiful remainder of your day and weekend. I do plan to come on for many more mini readings, maybe even over the weekend. So I'm really excited to tune back in for that. But otherwise, I will connect with you here again in the next video.